So, we may have the biggest match of the WWE year so far, or at least the match that's generated so much buzz that people are interested, and I am of course talking about Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. And this isn't just online intrigue either, this is genuine interest because the Raw rating a couple of weeks ago actually went up. And they had that brawl on Raw really recently, and that was great too. Now, even though it's not gonna happen, because it's just not gonna happen, I still believe that Samoa Joe should beat Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. Why? Here's why. Just to reiterate, so we can try and curb some of those juicy comments, I don't think Joe's gonna win. I think Brock Lesnar is gonna win, but that doesn't mean we can't have some fun with it, and it doesn't mean that Joe winning wouldn't be great, even though I love Brock Lesnar. And that goes to show how interesting and great this match actually is. The thing is though, I also love Samoa Joe and I think he's an incredibly talented dude. But I also think it's only fair to say that since he's arrived on the main roster, he hasn't really lit it up like I know that he can. It's not like he's now a bona fide main eventer that you've got to tune in to see, but he's got that. He's got that in his bones. The feud with Seth Rollins were fine and their matches were good, but the word fine is not what you should associate with two dudes of that caliber. But that just happens sometimes. You can have gold and gold and you push it together and bronze just falls out. It's like when AJ Styles took on Jericho last year, whenever the hell it was. You thought that was going to be amazing and it was alright, but it was just alright. Sometimes the chemistry just isn't there. As soon as he won that fatal 5-way though, and you started to realise that this was the new #1 contender and that he was going on to fight the Beast, Joe all of a sudden transformed back into that guy we knew he could be. And that guy is one of the best damn pro wrestlers on the planet. And you know I'm serious because I gritted my teeth. And teeth gritting is the sign of seriousness. The reason we all got so excited that Joe did win at Extreme Rules is because of the way he holds himself. He comes across like a legit badass that would actually whoop you behind. And guess who else falls into that category? Brock Lesnar. So all of a sudden you got like the same two dudes staring at each other, about to go to war. Neither guy feels like a wrestler playing a wrestler. They feel like a warrior. They feel like some really mad person that when they see another person, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna go and kill that guy because I can. And when the two meet in the middle, it's like, what's that saying? It's the unstoppable force against the immovable object. I don't think that's right, but that is what this is. You can't get that all the time, so when we do, we should embrace it and we should love it. So all of a sudden we all start thinking, oh man, just imagine when they collide. And that did happen on Raw, and it was awesome, and it's going to be even more awesome at the pay-per-view because it has to be. There's no way it can't be. There's too much behind it, and the people involved are too good at what they do. With all that said, however, what are we left with if Lesnar does win? Now, of course, he is going to win, as I've already said, and I get that. You can't have him lose so soon after the whole Goldberg stuff, and his whole point is to lose to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34 next year, and fine, whatever. I don't care. But there's a much more interesting story and upside here if Joe actually did win. He is on the precipice of being one of your main event top guys, but he just needs that little push. He needs something to get him over the line. And let's face it, there is no better or easier way to do that than to have him beat Brock Lesnar, and in turn also become the Universal Champion. That's ticking a lot of boxes. I don't even care if you want to cheat to make this happen. Hell, even put Joe in some kind of stable and have his cronies interfere so that he can win and you protect Brock Lesnar and turn Joe into a badass, but a dick badass. That's all fine, as long as the match itself allows Joe to really show what he's made of and really beat Brock Lesnar down, then that's what matters here. That's what's important, because coming out the other side, Joe is going to come across like a monster of his own, and you can do a lot with that. And a one and done between the two is also fine. I mean, we were never meant to get this to begin with, and 5 years ago, if I told you this was even on the cards, you would have shot your load. So in that sense, we shouldn't moan too much. However, when you take a step back and look at WWE, it does need a shot in the arm, and some devastating top main event heel who looks like a killer. That's a pretty good shot in the arm. And sure, you can scoff and go, well, Samoa Joe ain't gonna change nothing. And maybe he doesn't. But a lot of people used to say that about some guy called the Ringmaster as well. Now, I'm not saying Samoa Joe is on the same level as Stone Cold or has the same potential, but I am saying you never know. Also, I'm pretty sure that I could predict the ratings and interest in the product if Brock Lesnar does stay Universal Champion, because it's kind of going to be what it was before. Because he was Universal Champion, and yeah, now he's back on TV, so that may help a little bit. But I don't think it's going to change things like to any extreme degree. We already kind of know, because we already know. Ultimately, it doesn't actually matter too much as long as we've said, Joe is allowed to get his licks in. If we do finish and Brock has his hand raised, but it looks like he's been in the wars, then the next night on Raw, Joe is going to feel so much better and bigger than he did beforehand. That's mission achieved. You can't get mad at that, and it puts the tools in place to allow us to build Joe coming out the back of it. And that's the key. That's the key. As long as you don't drop Samoa Joe and go, he had his main event, screw it, now he's going back to where he was, then that's stupid. But if a plan and the future has already been put in place and you stick to it, everyone's going to come out on the other side feeling good. It's just in a world where Raw can feel a bit stagnant and boring, something coming out of left field and surprising us would be really nice. Would be appreciated. Even if that doesn't make sense when you're talking about financial plans and contracts. Who cares? Screw financial plans and contracts. Let's have some fun. Let's have a party. Let's have a boogie with wrestling. So yeah, it won't happen because it just won't. But let's dare to dream. Let's dare to have some fun. Because that's what it's all about. Dreaming and fun in many ways. When you break wrestling right down, that's all you've got left. Your dreams and the fun. But no, it won't happen. Brock Lesnar will beat Samoa Joe. But just imagine, he didn't. And Samoa Joe became the Universal Champion. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com and check out the articles there. Follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Follow me at SimonMiller316. I am Simon from What Culture, and once again, because I know all the comments are going to be, but he won't win, but he won't win. No, Samoa Joe won't win, but you never know. Goldberg was never going to come back. Stone Cold Steve Austin was never going to walk out of the company. The Rock was never going to host WrestleMania. Things happen in WWE. Things happen from nowhere. And this won't happen. No, it won't happen. Brock Lesnar is going to win. There's no way that Brock Lesnar can lose, because their long-term plan, as I've already mentioned, for WrestleMania 34 is Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is the king. But I like to think outside the box. And this has been some serious thinking outside the box.
You there, do you want to prove you're a wrestling smart ass? Then answer me this. Who is the only wrestler to hold tag team gold with Hulk Hogan? The answer was the rated R superstar Edge. Did you get it? I don't care. To test yourself and whatever friends you might have, buy the new What Culture Wrestling trivia game available at shop.whatculture.com.